Yo, hi everybody.
I want to hear the rest of the song.
I don't know the rest of the words.
Welcome back.
Yes.
Okay, today is Tarot Day.
Tarot card of the week.
Yes. And I always love your interpretation.
Oh, thanks.
Because what's going on, and you always pick up energy, and then we see what card we get. So.
Right. And this, we're going to put the intent in the card is for all of us for the rest of the week. What is it that we need to know? Okay.
Blessings, blessings.
Yeah. Sparkle, sparkle.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna.
No, not that one. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay.
You stopped.
This one's calling to me. Ooh, I like moons.
Ooh, that's our favorite, huh?
Yes.
Because it means a lot with Angus. Because when we had the past life, it was moon was a thing for us.
Yes.
And this actually is the card deck. I love this one because it's all goldish. It has a lot of gold.
Yeah, you can see the shimmer.
And this is a Visconti tarot card, and this is what they used to use in the Renaissance times. This is the art.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I love it.
I like Renaissance art.
Anything that sparkles, Vera likes. Okay, that's what my dad. He used to take me with him because I couldn't sleep when I was younger. When I was a baby. Actually, I think
some things don't change much, you know.
Yeah, 18 months old, and then so my dad used to work graveyard shift for the sheriff's department in Tucson, and so my mom needed to get sleep, so my dad would take me on patrol with him.
How old were you?
I was 18 months.
Oh, that's so cute. I'm picturing a baby in a cop car driving around.
Because I could walk. I could still remember. I could holding on, like hugging his. You know, like you're sitting next to him in the car, and then I'm like this.
Oh,
holding on to him.
That's so cute.
Because in those days you didn't have to wear a seatbelt or a car seat or whatever. Yeah, and then
That's cute.
I saw a full moon, and I kept crying. I kept telling him I wanted it.
Oh.
And he's going, I knew I was in trouble because you like those shiny, sparkly things. Okay, so I digress. So the card that Chrissy picked was for us is the moon. And in the tarot, the moon usually means intuition, using your intuition for whatever situation the spread is. So our intent is what we need to know for the week. So this week we're really going to be using our intuition in dealing with what's going on in the world, in our lives, that kind of thing. So that really be open to the messages. And then, always put the codicil, anything that's coming from God, any energy that's coming, any infusion that's coming from God's realm.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. We don't want to be open to
anything else.
Any negativity.
Right.
Yeah.
We have enough on this planet.
Yeah.
All right, so the tarot is, this card usually also represents universal love. The moon, right? Because it represents love. Everybody, sitting under the moonlight, making out with your whoever, kind of thing. So this also represents getting in touch with your truth. And how perfect is it for this week? Everything that we've talked about in our podcast, we haven't done that yet. In our videos today that we did, and even the card angel spread had to do with finding our truth. Exactly. So this week is going to really be amazing for a lot of us because we're going to come into the realization of this is what we believe. And it's going to be a message that we receive from whoever, but it's going to change the way we view the world.
I'm fascinated because the moon is thought of as the feminine, the intuition, like you were just saying. And oh my gosh, is that not...
And then we just had a full moon.
Exactly. And I'm just fascinated by this because this could not be any better right now.
Exactly.
And you just talked about this too. You had done a podcast last week on things coming to light, in a full moon, how it brings things to the surface.
It does. It definitely does. And then this card came into our lives this week for a reason. Why did you pick this card?
Yes.
Kind of thing. Yeah. So, and it's also representing too, because it's asking for truth, but it's also saying, don't be deceived. So it's trying to, it's that balance, you know, where we talked about it in the live show. We're hearing truth mixed with fiction.
Right.
To fit somebody's agenda. So we have to, you know, work through those and then figure out what is it we see that is our truth, right?
Exactly.
That works for us. So, so being the balance in that way is don't be, in what the Tarot represents, it's when it's telling you about, the example it gives for staying in balance is between like a wolf and a dog. You know,
don't howl.
Don't be overly wolf-like.
Ow!
And that's saying don't be overly tame either. So there's that balance.
I'd do it.
Yeah. So and we tend to do that. We tend to go one extreme to the other instead of having a happy balance. Like nowadays, it just popped in my head. Amelia, my great-granddaughter, they won't let her play with the iPad. They won't let her touch an iPhone because they get obsessed with it.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Well, but then she's going to be, in my opinion, a little bit behind because she's not going to know how to work the iPad like other kids are working it.
Right.
Okay? So why can't there be a balance? Why can't you say, okay, you can use it for 10 minutes. You can use it for 5, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But don't know it's bad.
Right.
Because sometimes it is for some kids, they get obsessed with it and they don't want to do anything else. That's the out of balance. So
Exactly.
don't, you know, have them miss that opportunity to learn something new because you're afraid they're going to get too into it.
Right. It reminds
Balance.
Yeah, it reminds me of going from one extreme to the other extreme.
Yeah.
But it's okay to experience some of this, but not totally go to the extreme.
Yeah.
So it's that modification. You know, what's it called? Everything
in moderation.
Moderation. That's
Right.
the term I'm looking for. But yeah, exactly.
And
the balance.
this country tends to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where this week we're going to change that. We're going to have that balance. We're going to finally realize, okay, this is what we see, this is what we believe, and this is how we're going to move forward.
Right. It kind of reminds me of the moon and then the sun. It reminds me of like, you know, the emotional, the intellect, the intuitive and the intellect. And that's one of the things that we try to stay to balance our emotion and our intellect together, so that we're not, so that we are intuitively getting what we need over here, but not to where we're ignoring. We want to also keep in mind the facts, but not only linear thinking. So it's blending.
Yeah, you have to be empowered.
It's that discernment.
Yeah.
You know, and I wanted to say, which was really amazing, that you were talking about getting messages and following the intuition and being empowered. That is exactly what this card reading that you did, it couldn't be any more better, because it's exactly what you were helping me with when you were, because Vera was telling me that I was doing a mannerism.
Oh, this is amazing.
That is like my mom, because I've been so worried about my mom with the situation that she's dealing with, that it was like I took on that mannerism.
But you hadn't told me about what was going on with
No,
your mom.
I didn't. And I'd never done this before. And then when you saw me doing it, and
Then we went for a walk.
Yeah.
I saw you do it during one of the shows.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, that is just bizarre. I've never seen her do
Yeah.
that before. So it really bothered me, though. Because then when we went for a walk, it's like, should I tell her? Should I not tell her? Because, you know, you don't like to critique people and what they do and how their mannerisms are, because you have weird ones too.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, and you know, even when I saw my mom do it, I knew it was because she was under stress. I
Right.
felt like the stress was getting to her. But when you said that I did it,
And then we went for the walk, and I told Chrissy, I go, I've never seen you do this before, and you looked horrified.
yes,
You were in shock.
I was, because
You stopped, and you just like
I
were
know.
staring at me. And
Yeah.
your eyes got watery.
yeah, because when I saw my mom do it, I was really worried about her because I felt like the stress is really starting to get to her.
So you thought you were doing it.
I
was something wrong with you.
But what's amazing about this is that, I guess, I don't know how to say it. It was like I was meant to do that
so that I could bring
you
it
would
up.
give me the message. And that's listening to the intuitive. It's just, I just really wanted to share that because
and that little thing brought about a whole different change
exactly
in the household where your mom has less stress.
Exactly.
Let's pray and hope.
Yes.
I mean, it worked for a week, so let's hope it keeps going.
Because when you told me about that last weekend, and this week made some serious changes. So I'm just so grateful. And that's, and you know, and I mean, we can either be in fear over it, or we can be empowered over it. To where it's like, it's okay. It's not going to take over her life, or it's not going to do this. Just
exactly. Yeah.
Going to make the change without being afraid. And that's kind of this theme. Yeah.
And it's amazing. So you guys hang in there and be open for these messages that you're going to be receiving.
Yes.
You know,
it's just an awesome card.
Yeah.
Thank you for
very
sharing.
Much so.
Very
Thank
cool.
you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Message for the week. Tarot card.